Question: are you craving chocolate? Are you someone who loves eating chocolate? Or maybe you notice you eat chocolate more before your period starts? Or maybe you're eating chocolate more in perimenopause and or menopause? Let's talk about that chocolate craving. Have you ever been told it has to do with magnesium? I Yesterday there was a conversation under a post that I had made, and all of these women, not all, that's an exaggeration, many of the women were commenting about how, oh, my magnesium is low and my body is telling me I need chocolate to improve my magnesium levels. Oh, stop. I don't know what website on the internet put that out, that chocolate determines that you're a magnesium. Ow, my phone's going off and I can't reach it. So we're going to ignore that in the background. Oh, maybe, do I have sound? Maybe that's it. Is someone calling me to tell me? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if I have sound? Yes, no, do I have sound? Yes, comments, or do I have sound? I don't know. Maybe they're calling because I don't. Oh, yes, you do. Thank you. Okay. So all these women have, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All of these women think that they're craving chocolate because their magnesium is low and the chocolate is going to replace the magnesium. Oh, back up. We need to talk about this. Chocolate craving is not linked to magnesium. I wish it were. And then I could get on and say, craving chocolate, you need magnesium. You can't, because the two are not connected. Let's talk about why you're craving that chocolate and how dopamine is connected and how it can actually lead you to better brain function, better activity, and feeling good. Craving chocolate could be a serotonin deficiency. And when you crave chocolate, you get an uptake of serotonin. Now, here's the big thing we need to ask. If you're not feeling good, why? Because chocolate's giving you a quick fix, but that's not the long-term solution. And 23 years ago, when my health crashed and I was in a wheelchair, seizures, the whole thing, I always went for short-term fixes. Chocolate is a short-term fix. I had to change my thinking and put it into long-term solutions. Now, don't get me wrong, chocolate has its benefits, especially if you're eating a good quality chocolate, not what I call junk chocolate that's loaded with sugar. If you're eating a Hershey bar or Hershey Kisses, it could be a sugar addiction, a gut imbalance, and that you're low in serotonin. Your body's giving you feedback, but it's not that you're missing in magnesium. Now, you might be, but chocolate is not the thing that tells you you're low in magnesium. My goal is to debunk that myth and help people understand that craving of chocolate can give you feedback into what your body needs. Are you low in serotonin? Well, my name's Kristen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a mental health professional, guidance, anything. I'm just someone who had a health crash, who put some pieces together for her own body that I feel good now. And I love sharing what I've learned. I'm not diagnosing you. You do you. I'm just sharing some thoughts. Chocolate is not a magnesium deficiency, and it can lead you to looking into what is going wrong. I would ask myself, and I have asked myself, when am I craving the chocolate? Especially if you're a woman, is it before periods? Is it before Are you in perimenopause and you're craving it more now? Are you in menopause and you're craving it more now? Because dopamine levels go down, which takes serotonin levels down, which are the feel good. That's what makes us feel good. So, is that chocolate craving representing you're not feeling good? And we've got to put some puzzle pieces together. Now, if you think it's a serotonin deficiency, if you're like, I don't feel good, then let's look at tryptophan. And there are, excuse my voice, there is so much pollen and it's just made my voice scratchy. There are two pathways for tryptophan. One pathway is getting it through food: turkey, milk, chicken, seeds, those kinds of things. Another pathway is supplementing with it. And what's right for you, I can't tell you what's right for you. You have to play with that. I did both because I'm someone that's been wired with depression since I was a young girl. And I know that serotonin is an issue. So I made sure I focused on foods and I supplemented it also. Now, magnesium does come into play here, in that magnesium helps serotonin and gets it to where it needs to be. But ultimately, the first step of a chocolate craving is not magnesium. Are you craving that junk chocolate? Is it sugar? Is your gut imbalanced? Do we need to start doing things to really increase your gut balance? One of my favorite things for that is N-acetylcysteine. And let me tell you why. It can be so overwhelming to say, I'm going to heal my gut. And then the 5 billion different things, not really 5 billion, many different things need to be done because your gut has a complexity to it. So there's a complexity to the healing. And thinking that you can just do one thing and heal your gut doesn't happen. But here's two things that make a huge difference and make your gut healing so much better. Get your magnesium up to cell saturation. Activate your vitamin D levels. Look at your active vitamin D and your stored vitamin D. Make sure they're in proper proportions on that. We do not want our stored vitamin D higher than our active vitamin D. And then let's look at adding tryptophan. Now, if your pathway is going seeds, milk, turkey, and there are other ones, but those are three big ones, take that pathway. Maybe your pathway is just adding tryptophan. Maybe your pathway is adding the foods and the tryptophan. But for gut healing to be easier, N-acetylcysteine, a simple amino acid, is going to make your journey easier. I've never seen it not make a difference. And that's a pretty bold statement. You do have to play with your dosing on N-acetylcysteine. Some people need 500 milligrams. Some people go to 2,000. You've got to play with that for what's right for you. Once you hit your dosing, your brain function will be better. It will be easier to heal your gut, and your cravings will naturally go down because you're balancing your gut by cutting out the biofilms. The N-acetylcysteine breaks down biofilms, which means you're breaking down the protection around candida and your body's working better because it's the candida and the parasites that are craving those foods. That's the imbalance, is craving those foods. And it was so much easier for me once I got my magnesium levels up, my vitamin D solid, because a strong vitamin D heals and seals your gut, and then added N-acetylcysteine. Now, for me, I went tryptophan also along with that. Do I stay on those all the time? No, but they are two that I cycle on and off because the tryptophan is so beneficial for my serotonin. And when you feel good, when your life is set up in a way that you feel good, that you have moments of, oh, my life is so good right now. For example, yesterday I found, I love thrifting, and I found these here they are. I found these cute craft envelopes. I'm doing a book summer reading club for my grandkids. They call me on Friday, how many checks they've got. Grandma pays them. It's a quarter for every 15 minutes, and there's a limit. I put the dollar bills in here and I send them to them. Well, I thought, this is like a hug coming from their grandma who doesn't live by them. So I took some cute cupcake liners, also thrifted, and I glued them on to the little envelope. My grandkids are probably, I have one that will love it and she will save it and keep it. The other ones probably won't even notice. And that's okay. It was an activity that I did that I felt good. I got a hit of dopamine, and that hit of dopamine helped me to connect to serotonin because they're neurotransmitters that work together. Now, think of, oh, I wish I had my phone in front of me. Think of just scrolling. Have you ever been on, please tell me I'm not the only one. For example, today I was looking something up and I ended up looking at the online thrift store. What's it called? Up Threads or Thread Up or something. How did I end up on that? Because I was getting what I call crack dopamine. I was just getting fake little hits of dopamine. That's what scrolling does. It leaves us unsettled. It leaves us always wanting more, searching, 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 versus, and I've gotten that kind of dopamine. The more quick dopamine with no action that you're getting, easy dopamine hits, the more unsatisfied you'll feel, which lowers your serotonin, which you don't feel good. And then you crave junk Hershey bars or Hershey kisses to get a quick little hit. But it's a broken cycle. So let's break that cycle, recognize, ask yourself, what are you doing that brings you moments of, oh, my life is so good? For me, it was putting two little cupcake liners folded over and writing out my grandkids' names, knowing they love getting mail and how fun that grandma's putting money and grandma's enforcing a reading habit. That was my real dopamine hit. That was dopamine that I'd taken action on. Think of it, I don't want to say deserved because it's not deserved. Hold on. Think of it like earning it. And earned dopamine moves you forward. Dopamine that you're getting from scrolling or Netflix binging or even eating, eating, that's not earned dopamine. So think of what you can add. And I would love to know what things in your life you can do that you will feel good to reduce the chocolate craving. Share with me in the comments below. I want to know what you could add. Mine took me about 3 minutes. 3 minutes is all it took to earn that dopamine. One of the things that I do is after I've been scrolling social media and I think, oh, I want to do that, I have to take action. I have to get off social media and go and take action on something. Now, sometimes it's the actual recipe that I found. Other times, I'm not in a position I can do that. But taking action, moving around, doing something that makes you feel good, stretching your shoulders, maybe doing some nerve flossing. Have you ever done nerve flossing? That could be a whole nother video because it feels so good. Doing something that helps you feel good will give you that natural boost of dopamine. It will increase your serotonin, and that is a layer, not the only layer, but a layer that helps your chocolate cravings go down. So remember, the next time you find yourself yearning for chocolate, think, what can I add in my life to help me feel better than what that chocolate is going to make me feel? Okay, I want to hit these questions because there's some really good ones. And so I call this squirreling. And we might come back around to dopamine and how it all fits in. But when you understand active vitamin D and gut healing, we have some questions that are loosely connected. So I want to focus on these. And first off, Joya, your scarf is that blue around your neck is absolutely beautiful. I love it. One of my things is I'm learning. Like today, this was my practice run. I'm learning how to tie scarves and utilize them because they're so fun. And you have tied that beautifully. I'm very impressed. Okay, so bovine colostrum for gut healing. Absolutely, we can go into that right now. So, gut healing, I worked on my gut for over 20 years. Oh, I need to look over here. Sorry. Over 20 years. I like to look at your face, but then it looks like I'm not looking at you. So I'll look right here and remember your beautiful face. I worked on my gut for over 20 years, and it was a very expensive journey. If my husband were right here, he would be nodding his cute little bald head. And it was ridiculous. I don't think it should take that much money to heal your gut. And the reason it was so expensive for me and the reason it took so long is I didn't have my foundation in place. And that foundation is soaking in magnesium, achieving a magnesium red blood cell test of 6.3, then looking at your active and your stored vitamin D, making sure that your active is above your stored and that you're getting appropriate amounts of sunshine for you. And how much sunshine I can take in and how much sunshine you can take in is determined by numerous things: the pigment in your skin, the fats that you eat. If you eat a lot of canola oil, fast food, and restaurants, your fats will sizzle, for lack of a better word. Those unhealthy fats mean it's not as safe for you to be in the sun as someone who eats healthy fats like avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, those types of fats, the correct olive oil, because so much of it is junk. And that determines how long you can stay in the sun. And when you get your active vitamin D above your stored vitamin D, you naturally start plugging your gut. And that's what I was missing. I didn't have that foundation in place to naturally heal and seal my gut. And that's what active vitamin D does. It naturally, and I cannot tell you how many cleanses and supplements and all of these radical things that I did to heal and seal my gut, but I didn't have my body's natural mechanisms in place. Now, is that the only thing you need to do? No, some people need to do more. I'm saying that's the foundational thing that you do. And let's see, you brought up, let's see, where is it? Oh, right here. It was back on this one. Bovine colostrum. Colostrum is wonderful for healing and sealing the gut. Think of it this way, though. Let's see, I have pictures. This is your gut, my glass, which I thrifted. Isn't that pretty? I broke my favorite one, so I had to get new glasses. Okay, here's your gut. And pretend it has little holes all over, little holes all over. And that's where we start getting autoimmune, so many issues come if we've got holes in our gut. And so I started, I think it was actually colostrum. I think it was. If not, it was one of the first ones I started. Okay, I've heard how good colostrum is for the gut. Take colostrum, take colostrum. Well, guess what? Colostrum's going out. Remember, we pretended that there was all those holes right here? The colostrum's just leaving. And eventually, you can create an immune response or an intolerance to that colostrum because it's not supposed to leave your gut and get out and aggravate your body. And your body goes, hey, what is this? Protect, protect. So it builds up an immune, and then you lose the ability to take colostrum. So, yes, colostrum is wonderful. It's not where I'd start. Let's get the magnesium up, the active and stored vitamin D in the right place, and then add the colostrum. That's when the colostrum's going into a gut that the body, and then you hold that colostrum in your gut so it can increase. Is what colostrum does is think of like little hairs. You have a border in your gut of all these little hairs called villi, and the colostrum improves that brush border in your gut, making it stronger, which is a fabulous thing. And so once I learned that, I had to ask myself, okay, do I want to put colostrum in and waste it? And you'll get some benefit, but not the full benefit. Or do I want to put colostrum in when I've got my body doing what it's naturally supposed to do of healing and sealing the gut and then getting the full benefit of colostrum? So yes, colostrum will help. I wanted that natural foundation in place that my body innately has, that I don't even have to think about. Like, I do not innately balance the checkbook very well. I do it with some apps and their help, but it's not like I have to put calendar and okay, what do I do? I don't even have to think about my body healing and sealing my gut if my magnesium levels are up and if my active vitamin D is higher than my stored. Our bodies are incredible. I'm in awe of what our bodies can do. Yeah, just in awe. The biofilm. Now, here is one thing I would put in, Joya. Am I saying that correctly? Joya? It's a beautiful name, but I want to say it correctly. If you're focused on healing and sealing your gut, I would add N-acetylcysteine from the beginning before you had those other things in place. There's nothing that I've seen in 23 years of devoting most of my days to watching people getting healthy, helping people getting healthy, going to classes and all the things, and being in groups of thousands of people that are focused on it and sharing what worked and what didn't work. I've never seen anything work like N-acetylcysteine to break down the film. And when you break down that film, you're taking down the defense of the candida and parasites in your gut. The higher that defense is, the harder it's going to be to heal and seal that gut. And what we talked about in the beginning, get your cravings down. Because if you have holes all through your gut, your cravings are up. If you have low estrogen, your cravings are up. And part of that low estrogen is because you have holes in your gut with parasites and candida. This is a little bit of a squirrel, Joya, from what you asked me about, and I'm going to go quickly because I want to keep this short. My other thing that goes along with healing and sealing the gut that a lot of people go into is all of these parasite cleanses. And yes, you can do a parasite cleanse and get rid of parasites. Let's have bile in place and reduce the biofilms so that the parasite cleanse doesn't have to be repeated over and over. I don't, and I would love for those that are on right now, tell me where you're at with this question. I don't want to spend tons of time doing all these things. I have tools. I've got castor oil packs. Be putting them on my husband. He's a double amputee on his stumps. They get really swollen. I'll be putting those on him tonight. I've coffee and so many tools, rebounding, lymph, tap. There's so many tools I've learned. I don't want to spend all day using my tools to maintain being healthy. The reason I want to be healthy is to be with my family and play and run and climb trees and play Legos and hula hoop. I have one that's really into hula hooping, a granddaughter. That's why I want to be healthy. I want to put the least amount possible in for the biggest return on investment. And so doing it in its proper order has made it that I don't have to spend that much time on my health like I used to. Now, do I still spend time on my health? Absolutely, I do. But it has decreased so much because of the steps that I put in order, and that starts with soaking in magnesium from living the good life naturally. And I will do everything I can. We're online every day, answering questions, doing our best to help guide people. I've got a couple projects in the works right now of just free resources that people will be able to go to help guide them through the journey of soaking in magnesium, because I've been watching thousands of people do it for over 20 years, and I've learned a lot of things. Oh, if this happens, try this. This happens, do this. Oh, that one, you've got to have this first, because it makes that journey shorter. And that's what I'm all about. Thank you for being here with me today. I will be going live on Wednesdays. I'm going to try it for a couple weeks. I will do a walk with me on Monday morning, which is just whatever we're thinking and talking about on the beach. I walk down the beach. So I do that on Monday mornings. I'll come on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific to have a very specific topic, talk about that, and then turn and look at the questions and go where we need to go with the questions. And then Friday is Friday favorites. Oh, and I'm really excited for this Friday coming up, and it will be at 1 o'clock Pacific time also. And I'd love to have you join me for my Friday favorites. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.